Just 2 weeks ahead of Election Day, the New York City Police Department says it's prepared to keep polling places secure. Officers are going to be at polling places across the city starting this Saturday. That's when early voting begins. Hundreds more are on hand for possible protests, voter intimidation, or violence related to next month's presidential election. News 4's chief investigative reporter Jonathan Dienst in the newsroom now with details on this. John.
Yeah, Adam, in just a matter of days, early voting begins and big turnout expected through Election Day. The NYPD says for this controversial election, they literally will be working overtime to keep an eye out at all polling places and for any protests that might arise in the days ahead.
If anyone tries to interfere with people's right to vote, we will take action.
Starting next week, police personnel will be at every polling site. That's officers at all 88 early voting locations citywide. And on Election Day, they'll be at all 1,200 sites as required by law. Many of the sites are schools, with Madison Square Garden, Barclays, and Lincoln Center added to help accommodate the expected large turnout.
There will be a presence everywhere people come to vote.
Hundreds of additional cops will be assigned to rapid response teams. They'll be in place to respond to problems at the polls, to help guide peaceful protests, and to try to stop any violence. These precautions being taken amid the heated campaign, where a winner may not be known right away, as counting of mail ballots in some swing states could take days. Extra police will be outside Trump Tower and other locations that serve as a draw for protesters from either side.
From the extreme left to the extreme right, both seem to agree that everybody needs to vote. So we're hoping that actually helps us.
No specific threats, but in addition to deploying extra cops on overtime, the NYPD will be working with the FBI to try to monitor any cyber threats.
If something happens, that we have the adequate resources and the speedy response to deal with it quickly.
Officials trying to offer this bottom line reassurance for those wanting to cast their ballot in this controversial election.
Have no fear about going into an election site. We will be there, and we will make sure everyone is safe.
No known threats or intelligence suggesting there will be problems here on Election Day, but the NYPD putting the resources in place now to try to keep the vote safe. Jonathan Dienst, News 4.
You have to be ready, Jonathan. Thank you.